Hey friends, this is Jayendra Katod and you are watching Chart the Best Rate on Azure. In this episode, we will pick up another Azure service and try to deep dive into its pricing and sizing aspects so that you can create the most optimized consumption plan for your customers. To join me in today's session, let's welcome Ankur Mittal. Hey Ankur, hope you are doing great. Why don't you tell our viewers what do you do here at Microsoft India and which service are you picking up today?
Thanks, Jayendra. My name is Ankur Mittal. I'm the Senior Cloud Solution Architect working for GPS India. I take care of apps and infra workload on Azure. Today, we are going to speak about app services. This is the managed runtime that we provide to host web-related workloads. It could be a web app, it could be your APIs, it could be your mobile apps. Everything you can host, it provides managed runtime, for example, Java, .NET, Perl, Python, PHP, Node.js. So plus it comes in two flavors, Windows and Linux. So today we are going to discuss in detail about app service pricing. We'll understand the tiers and we'll understand the different environments and how we should size the app services. So let's go to the pricing options. I'm selecting the region as Central India, currency as India, and we are just going to see what is the per month pricing. Okay. So these are all 6 different plans that are available for you to select and for your particular use case. And each one has carried its own elements. So we start with the free tier. It gives you a limited time per day, and you can host up to 10 mobile apps with a disk space of 1 GB, and you won't get any other features. Plus, this particular uh, plan is shared in nature. Of course, we do not share the uh, folders and other things. They are completely private to you, but still the compute type below is a shared infrastructure, and pay as you go price is free for you. After that, and it does not support the custom domain. After that, we have a shared environment. In this, you can host few more web apps, and we support custom domain on this. Rest, any other thing is not supported, and for that we are taking this much amount as a price option. After that, we have a basic plan. This is the starting plan where we provision the dedicated instance for you. You can go up to 3 instances. Only manual scale is possible. You can have a custom domain supported, plus it does have all the important things supported like hybrid connections to your on-premises, virtual network support for you to connect to the database. And then we also support private endpoints now on this. So you can choose basic plan. If you wanted to host a dev and test workloads, you do not have that auto scaling requirements, and rest of the things can be done on it. Now, after that, this is a very good plan, is standard. Okay. This comes with a slot feature also. The slot feature is very good when you wanted to deploy the same thing into up to 5 slots are available. You can divide them into dev, test, pre-prod, staging, and prod. So when you do, and if you wanted to use the same infra for that, it saves a huge cost also. Okay, because if you do the same thing on the physical infra, you will provision the separate instances. So this is the very good plan to start with. You can host any number of web apps or API apps on this. There's no limit. Get up to 50 GB of data. You can get up to 10 instances. Auto scaling is possible, both schedule and both metric based. So I can do a scaling where I know that at a particular time I wanted to scale. You can do that, or you can make it metric based also. The rest other things are also supported like hybrid connectivity, virtual network connectivity, and private endpoints. They're all supported on this. So this is a very good plan to start running your production workloads. Now, of course, when you are hosting a workload which has good amount of user base, you go ahead with the premium plan. Here, you can have up to 30 instances auto scaling plus up to 20 slots are available to you. So you can even host multiple versions of simple web app here in this plan, and everything is possible. Plus, this is the dedicated instance. So in all, any particular instance that we offer is up to 4 core. So 13 to 4 up to 120 cores of compute space is available for you, which is quite good enough to host a very, very significantly big workload for you. After that, we have a isolated. This is actually a environment where we host our PaaS services in your virtual network, and it does not have any kind of public connectivity. You can route your traffic. Of course, it depends upon your need, or if it is an enterprise grade use case with a zero trust security foundation, and the customer is not willing to host it into the CSP provided infrastructure. Here you can create your own virtual network on the cloud, and in that you provision the isolated instance. Everything is possible here. You can go up to 100 instances, and if required, if you are wanted to go beyond that, probably you can raise it up to 200 also. So everything is possible, and this comes with this. Now, let's go ahead and see what is possible inside all these plans. So if you see in the free plan, we just offered 60 CPU minutes per day. This is the RAM that is available to you, and 1 GB. You don't need to pay us anything. On the shared storage, you get up to 240 CPU minutes a day. Good thing for a very, very minor dev and test workload. After that, this is the basic plan. Now, these are the three different types of instances that are available: B1, B2, and B3 of core 1, 2, and 4. And so I can spin up 3 instances of 4 core. So that means up to 12 core can be available for us. And this is the price for this particular instance. So this price is per instance of that particular plan. Similarly, when I go to the standard one, okay, here I get this much of 1 core and 1.75 GB of RAM. Of course, it's just approximately a double the ratio between core and RAM. And I can get with S3 also, I can get this. Now, the good part with this is that I can further split this particular plan into different kind of environments. So in this amount only, if I'm not that significant, I can split the S3 further into slots, which is a very nice feature that we offer in this particular service. After that, we have a premium V2 plan. You have all these instances, P1, V2, P2, V2, and P3. Okay, and this comes with a SSD based disk, and we got a very good hypervisors behind the scene, so give you a very good compute, high performance, great compute we offer under this plan. After that, we have lately introduced V3 versions with faster processor and Hyper-V virtualizations with the VNet support. Plus, it also coming up with the RI pricing. So, probably if you wanted to host the workload, you can go ahead with our reserve pricing also, which gives you good amount of saving up to 30 to 60%. Then comes the isolated plan. Here you run your critical workloads in a completely isolated network. And we offer 3 plans over here again. Okay, and you can see the pricing here. Similarly, we also have upgraded our V2 plans, okay, for maximum scalability, and they comes with the advanced networking features, and you can scale independently and you can scale fast in these virtual networks. So we have brought the latest V2 plans also in some regions, and if this is available, my request would be to go for it. Okay. Plus, if you see the difference between the two, here we have a maximum instance per instance of 4 core. We have upgraded that from just almost double that. i3v2 can get up to 8 core instance. So that means in this cluster, if I talk about with the 100 instances, you're getting 800 cores. So which is a huge to, to bring any kind of a large workload also on a managed platform. After that, there is a dev and test also service pricing available that you can leverage for dev and test purposes. And this saves further your cost on the licensing part. After that, we do have the app service domain. So this is where you buy the custom domain. We had a tie up with GoDaddy. From there, you can buy a domain, or you can bring your own domain by any of the DNS provider. And this is the price that we will charge you per year for implementing that particular certificate. After that, app services provide you free SSL certificate. So we always suggest that never host your website on normal AT port and HTTP. We always recommend you that you please enable SSL on your website. And let's say if you are not using any kind of a custom domain or any other thing, we give you that particular certificate free of cost. So that means all our web services endpoints can be made SSL enabled at no charge. Then if you wish, you can bring your own certificate. For the standard SSL certificate, we also give you, for this particular amount, and we also offer wildcard SSL certificate. Okay, so managed certificates is still in public preview. Some of the naked domains are not supported as of now, but you can leverage. If you wish, you can purchase these two certificates from us. Now, the web service supports two types of SSL connections. One is the server name indication and the IP address SSL based, connections. We do not charge for SNI. Okay, so this is natively supported. And then, if you wish, if you wanted to have an IP based SSL certificate, we charge approximately 3,000 rupees per month for a particular certificate. So that's all. From a pricing perspective, this is all you need to remember, when we are sizing. One very important part is this, these things. Okay, free, shared, basic, standard, premium, and isolated. Which one you have to use? Now, this is on the Windows side. When we move over to the Linux side, okay, so the pricings, the slots are mostly same. Okay, but here we don't have the shared plan. Okay, if you see here that we don't have the shared plan, but most of the other things are free. Okay, and it works on a containerized environment. Free, again, like the same thing, Windows support. Okay, after that there is a basic. You don't have shared on this. Basic, again, like almost the same features besides auto scaling. After that, we have a standard here, right? So standard, everything is possible. After that, the premium and isolated. Okay, so we can have it all, and of course there would be certain license benefits also available here. That means it is slightly cheaper than the Windows one. Now, coming to the free plan, again same thing. Okay, when it comes to the basic plan, we do have this B1, B2, and B3 with cores 1, 2, and 4. Similarly, when it comes to the standard plan, again this, you can multiply this per instance, and these pricing are all per instance based. Okay, similarly, premium B2 plans. Okay, and then again by P1, P3, you can further double your course requirement, and then the isolated plan, and then the isolated V2 plans. Okay, so we are now coming up, on a pre-provisioned Kubernetes cluster. Okay, so this particular feature is currently in preview. Of course, you can go ahead and leverage your dev and test pricing for basic and other things. And this is the same thing for the SSL certificate that we have discussed recently. After that, we got a new part here now that has JBoss EAP on App Service. This was launched last year. Okay, and this is a very good service where you can bring the the JBoss EAP workload on Azure. And for that, we are charging 11.63 per port per hour on that, on your standard app service pricing. So with that, I'll just move on to the pricing calculator. And the good part is that, you should always sign in here. Okay. So the moment you sign in, it brings your organization-wide pricing to you for whatever plan you are using. Okay. Now, in the calculator, you just go and look for app service. Here we got app services here. Go to the plan. Okay. Name the workload, right? So let's say your app service is Contoso web application. Okay. Now you have to select the region. I'm just selecting the region as India. The operating system is Windows or Linux. I can choose. Now after that, these are the tiers as we were discussing. Okay. Now let's say if I wanted to move on to Premium V3, okay, and I wanted to take 8 cores, and I wanted to run 3 instances for 730 hours. Okay, so this is the cost I will get. Now, if I know that my 3 instances are always going to run, I can probably go ahead for the reserve pricing. Now let me tell you the scaling needs. Most of the web applications scale up and down. So how to go ahead for the most optimized pricing is bifurcate your workload into 3 parts: low, medium, and peak workloads, peak times. Now, low means, let's say your web services or your web app always require minimum 2 instances to be running. Now on this, let's say I take the 4 core, right, and try to be low on these cores if you wanted to go leverage the scaling needs. So that means 8 cores I always remember, and on that, I'll just try to take the reserve pricing. Let me give you the benefit of this pricing. If you wanted to give, if your workload is running, let's say 730 hours, 24/7, you should leverage this. Even if you are running, so let me tell you how it comes to, right? So let's say if your instances are running only for 100 hours a month and you take a 3-year array, you will be paying us more. What we should do is, I have done a soft math some time back and I can give you this guidance that if your workload is running more than 420 hours, okay, the 1-year reserve pricing makes sense for you. All right. If you are running lower than 420 hours a month, okay, definitely pay as you go is an economical option. Okay, when you are looking a horizon for a 1-year perspective. When we are going for a 3 years reserve pricing, okay, and if your workload is running more than 250 hours, okay, it makes sense you go ahead for the 3 years reserve pricing. Okay, and if you are lower than 250, it's always better you stay with the pay as you go. So this is the saving, and this is the saving on the time. Again, so you have to do this math accordingly and choose this. So what I discuss is that, I just say it as a low peak. Okay, context of application, low peak. So that means minimum this, I would be running for a 3-year workload, and this is my pricing. After that, I can take one SSL connection if required. I can have one here, right? So few of them are free. Okay, with the premium plans. Now let's add another entry to it. Now this is the Contoso application peak. Okay, so now this is my peak. Again, I'll choose the same data center. I'll take the Windows and I'll take the premium V2. Okay, like I have taken here. Premium V3 I have taken. I'll just take the premium V3 again. And here now, I will select 4 core and I can take how much? I can take 4 instances, that means this is my peak workload. And if I multiply this by, let's say, only the business hours, okay, so they comes out to be 192 per month. That means I'm running Monday to Friday, 8 hours, weekend off. So I know that, even let's say this is my 498, correct, for this particular amount. Just remember this figure. Now, the moment I go for this 1 year reserve pricing, it increases. Okay. So it's always better that I should stay with here. Correct. Even the 3 year reserve pricing won't help me. Okay. If I am going to run for 730 hours, okay, so I'm paying this much. So remember, in the auto scaling needs, prevent RI pricing if your times are lower than the certain limits. You have to do this math. Okay. I did this for the peak workload. Okay. And then I'll take the SSL connections again here. Okay. And I will on them also. And this is my overall pricing. So this is the pricing where I have taken care of auto scaling, and I have categorized them into two parts. If you wish, you can further bifurcate it. Even you can bifurcate it as per the schedule. And that's how the pricing works. Now remember one thing, even in this pricing, what are the exclusions? That is very, very important to understand. This is only for the managed runtime. This is not including any kind of database. Plus, this is not including any kind of network egress. So when you host your web services, most of the time they are, they are being accessed from outside, and we must consider bandwidth. So I'm just take an entry of the bandwidth here also and show you that how much is the data transfer that that can happen from your workload. So this is guesswork most of the time. You can take it as an internet egress. So let's say if you're hosting a workload which is accessible to the outside world, and I am hosting my workload in Central India and routed via public internet. Okay, and let's say how much, let's say 1 TB or 1024. I'll just put it. So this is the egress. Now this together, okay, brings a package of a website or a web app that you will host publicly, okay, onto the Azure App Service. Beside this, everything else would be a standard landing zone components. I'm assuming that you will already take care of like Azure firewalls or any kind of other firewalls, all of the things that are separate. Now, this is from a core app service perspective, okay, that you should take. With that, thanks very much.
Hey, thank you so much, Ankur, for joining us today and share your knowledge about how to create the most optimized consumption plan for Azure App Services. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jendra, for inviting me. I hope the session will help our viewers to size the app services in the most optimized manners. Thank you, Jendra.
And that's about it for this episode, folks. Signing off, this is Jayendra Khatod. Until next time, keep learning.